Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to a place called San Miguel de Allende. This is around 1 hour drive from Querétaro, around 55 to 60 kilometers. This place is one of the most popular tourist places in Mexico, especially among expats and foreigners. That's why you will hear a lot of people speaking English there. So come with me and I will tell you more about it while you're watching the video. And before that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and you can also follow me on Instagram with the same name. So let's go. We started to San Miguel at around 4 p.m. in the evening because it's usually beautiful to see the downtown in the evening time. So on our way, we saw a lot of street side vendors selling things on either sides of the road. And just like any other road trip to any other city in Mexico, the road trip to San Miguel also had beautiful picturesque views on our way. So after 1 hour drive, we reached San Miguel. It's a small city, so hence there are a lot of people and the traffic is also high. And especially being a weekend, there was a huge traffic. As we entered the downtown, the road got narrower. There was a small place for both the sides of the cars to move. And you will observe that the taxis here are in green color. In my earlier video, I had mentioned that I have noticed most of the taxis are of different colors in different cities. So here in San Miguel, it was in green color. You can see that. This is a hilly city, so obviously the roads are steep. It seems at the beginning of 20th century, this town was in danger of becoming a ghost town because of some pandemic. But gradually, the colonial structure was discovered by some foreign artists who moved in, and then the art and cultural institutes came up and it became quite famous among foreigners. And that's when the foreign art students started moving in, and it became more popular among Americans, Britishers, and Canadians. So now there are many expats and retired foreigners who live here in San Miguel. And that is the statue of General Ignacio Allende, a Mexican independence hero. And this is placed in the Plaza Civica Square in San Miguel. And that's the Templo de la Salud. The bright colors is what made this place more vibrant. I noticed that most of the houses, the doors and windows also had these colonial style of construction. And that's the famous church of San Miguel. You will find this as a symbol of San Miguel when you look at Google, or if someone wants to meet somewhere, this is used as a navigation point. This is the main cathedral of the city and it's called La Parroquia. Every hour they ring the church bell and it gives a different feel here. And people sit around this church, they take a lot of photos and they just spend their time sitting and eating something. You can see how they have benches around the place so people can sit and enjoy and talk with their friends and family. There was a wedding happening in one church and the girls were dressed elegantly in long gowns, and the couple, they looked so beautiful together. And that was the church where the wedding was happening. And the work on this church reminded me of Hindu temples in India. In India too, we have temples which have these beautiful work done on the walls or the pillars of the temple. And here in front of this church, we saw a lot of tourists standing in a line and waiting to get into the tourist bus for the sightseeing. Look at the colors on these buildings and the colonial structure that they are constructed in. They have still maintained it, and the work on the door is what made it more beautiful. What amazed me more was this Starbucks coffee shop. Well, we have seen a Starbucks everywhere, and it's always in a modern place and with all the modern look. But this Starbucks had the ancient and traditional style of a shop that really amazed me. Not only Starbucks, but many other famous stores like La Europea and the Flexi, which is very modern usually in most of the cities here in Mexico, and also the Farmacia de Ahorro. I mean, I wouldn't know that this was a store until I looked at the name, because I would just think that it was some old building or some house. Because look at this, this actually looks like a house, but this is a pharmacy. So it was really surprising for me. And to one side, they had all these street vendors selling snacks, ice creams, and different flavored juice. You can see how many different flavors they had for ice creams. So we also thought that we will try some snack from here, and we decided to take this tosti locos. And actually loco means like crazy, and we really felt that this snack was crazy because she filled the plate with all kinds of things. I mean, the rarest of the combination that I could think of. And it was just around 45 pesos. I felt it was quite reasonable for the things that she was putting in them. She put in tostados, onions, tomatoes, carrots, and she also actually put something in pork, which I told her that we don't eat. So she made a new plate again with all these things. And the funny part was she ended it with by putting some gummies on top of it, which I found really rare. And of course, she topped it with some salsas, salsa Valentina. So it was quite filling for us. It was kind of dinner for both of us. Now you can see that she puts in some salsas, which really enhances the flavor. Look at that. And then there were these pepinos, like pepinos means cucumbers, with some chili and things like that. We actually wanted to try it, but we were quite filled by then. And then you find these huge puppets, people dressed like huge puppets. They're very famous in San Miguel. I remember last time when we went, we also saw a carnival with these puppets. And this is the main garden in front of the church. You will see a lot of people just walking around, taking pictures, and looking at each other and spending time. And then we went into a lane where they had different kinds of stores, and I must say that the artwork that they did in this shop was completely different. I had not seen that before. And of course, we found the store where they had some Indian god and goddess idols too. So when you get into this lane, we found that there were restaurants and some unique shops which sold some unique things. November 2nd is Dia de Muertos, the main festival of Mexicans, and hence you will find a lot of decorations with things for the Dia de Muertos. Here, the things were definitely more expensive than Tequisquiapan. Remember the video that I did on Tequisquiapan, where I told you the things were quite reasonable there. But obviously, San Miguel is the place where there are a lot of foreigners and tourists visiting. So the things are more expensive than Tequisquiapan. This is a place where I didn't find it weird to hold a camera and walk around, because everyone had a camera in their hand, or I mean a phone in their hand, and taking pictures. And that is the statue of Ignacio Allende, and it seems that is the casa of the house of Mr. Ignacio Allende, and now it's a museum. And around the church there were many stores which sold different kinds of things too. And there was a shop which had beautiful decorations for Dia de Muertos. I really liked it. And there was this unique store which had things made out of wood like a puzzle, and you could make a name out of it or some figure out of it. Last time when we had visited the store, we bought names of my daughters Ananya and Alekia, and also with S and D, the initials of mine and my husband's. I would recommend you to go to the store because I have not seen this in any other place in Mexico. The place was so lively with music, mariachis, restaurants, and shop vendors selling, happy family talking, kids running around. It is a perfect place to go on weekends. And then we entered this plaza. Actually, we didn't know it was a plaza. And there we found a lot of heart-shaped things written with San Miguel in the middle. So they told me that because San Miguel is considered as the heart of Mexico, they have this figure and San Miguel written in middle of it. And of course, as I mentioned in earlier vlog, the skeletons. They also had a lot of small jewelry made of silver. And of course, the Mexican hats. You must have seen in the movies the Mexican men with hats and boots. So obviously you will find that everywhere in Mexico. And how could I go home without buying churros? These are our favorite snack here in Mexico. I was actually looking for something filled with Nutella, but he only had simple churros, but I bought 2 of them. And then we decided to go back home. While going to San Miguel, I showed you that it was a slope, so now we had to drive up the hill. And the cobblestone streets was really difficult to drive. They really test your driving skills. But you feel great when you drive between these lanes, especially with so much of greenery and colorful houses. I had actually decided to stop recording now, but as we entered Querétaro, the beautiful sky made me to record it further. And that's all for today's video. I hope you liked this video of San Miguel. Don't forget to like, share and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.